movie notes on Walking the Camino, 2013 film, 13 June 2025 viewing. Here I, Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, talk through my movie notes for my Friday, 13 June 2025 viewing of the 2013 film Walking the Camino, 6 Ways to Santiago, which is a documentary about a few different individuals who go on a pilgrimage walk on the Camino Francés in Spain, in France, technically, about 500 miles long, starting in Saint-Jean-Pied-de-Port, and to the west of the Pyrenees mountain range in France, in southern France, and finishing in Santiago de Compostela in northwestern Spain. So essentially, there's a bunch of different Camino de Santiagos, and it kind of starts off that way, where there's a bunch of different kind of trails you could take, but the big one is Camino Francés. And so it's in France and Spain. So essentially it goes from approximately west coast of France to west coast of Spain. So if you're a west coast kind of person, this might be your trail. And it's about 500 miles long, so it's a long one, and so it follows these different individuals as they're on this, and they show footage of the people on the trail and stuff like that. And you know, it's like this narrow little path, but it's like, it's through France and Spain, so it's like through the countryside, in villages and stuff like that. And I was like, this is the coolest through hiking thing I've seen. I'm gonna be completely honest. And I've watched a lot of YouTube videos and stuff on it, but I thought, this was like, they like, you know, they're in Spain. I think by that point they were in Spain, and like they show like these guys, they have like break out this big piece of bread and cheese, and I'm like, it's a pilgrimage, and so there's churches along the way and stuff like that, and it's a route that's been used for over 1,000 years. All right. So I was just kind of like, it was very like spirited, but it was focusing on the people of, I think, kind of a point that was made throughout the video, and documenting kind of the struggles of these people of making this journey. And maybe they're not the fittest people and they're not athletes, but they still want to do this for their own growth and their own kind of centering in their religion. And so they're going and they're having problems with their feet, or just the plain old physical exertion. And like they kind of get to, you know, put their faith in God that they're gonna make it all the way, okay? But then I also get to see, like, one woman at one point, like, this guy comes up and like offers to take my bag, or takes her bag and like walks it for her, and she's like, it was the nicest thing anybody's ever done, right? So it's not only about having the faith to finish the trail, but getting to see kind of people help out and see the best of other people while they're out in these miserable conditions that they're putting themselves through, because they want that chance for spiritual guidance, and that chance for spiritual growth, and kind of carrying on this route that has been used for over 1,000 years. So in that sense, I thought they didn't necessarily hit it explicitly like I just did, but I thought that was good, because it allowed me to kind of put that together through my own viewing. And yeah, and there was, you know, the basic trials and tribulations of, like, you know, maybe they didn't make it as far, or that they wanted in a day, and that kind of stuff. And so I thought it did a good, part of the growing in faith for this particular journey is putting faith in God to guide them through making it. And taking it, the through hiking approach is continuous footsteps, so walking all the way from one part to the next. And I think so the end is in Santiago. It's Camino de Santiago, Santiago de Compostela, and I think they go a little bit further, all the way to the west coast of Spain. So, but the Camino Francés is west coast of France to west coast of Spain, which is somebody who is from Tanis Coralee Leonhardi, she, her, hers of Seattle, west coast of the United States of America. I'm like, west coast, yeah, that's the driver to get it done, west to west, you know, like, okay. So yeah, it was kind of fun, but it was different than like being kind of like a north-southbound kind of American through hike. This is like more cultured, like in the sense of like the original peoples and the history of the original peoples. We don't got that in America. It kind of tramples the Native American stuff over here. So there was a little bit of a breath of fresh air, so to speak. So it was good. 5 out of 5 stars. Solid, yes. So my movie notes on Walking the Camino, 2013 film, 13 June 2025.